Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Crypto Traders Arena back here for another weekly crypto review show. Episode 44, I think I saw on the tweet. So, yeah, here we are. Another Sunday. Crypto market's looking a little more happy than in the recent months, but jump more into that here in a minute. I think my co host is here. Mr. Paul, you want to say hi to everyone real quick?
Don't want to, but if I have to. Hello, everyone.
Just making sure the audio's working. Looks like it
Yeah,
is.
it's okay. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So it looks like we're streaming on YouTube. And everything's good. So, hey, I hope you guys had a good week and a good weekend. The daylight savings time, I guess, is completed now. This was a funny week because, like for me here in North America, for whatever reason, daylight savings is like a week after the rest of the guys in the group. So this week's always a funny thing with time zones. So we are starting at 16 UTC today, as always, but that might be slightly different. Well, your time might have changed depending on where you are. But I guess starting up this week here, we'll just go back like in our New York session. Seemed to start an hour later if you're in North America last week, but it should just go back to normal here. We'll start our New York session every day, basically a half hour before the stock exchange open. So if you are a premium member, of course, that's like sort of where we're always at every New York session, 5 days a week. We're always in there live trading. And if you're a premium member in our Discord group, then of course you have access to that. So please join us if you are, if you're a member, but you're just lurking in the shadows. Try to pop into those meetings because, of course, when things are slow and there's not so much activity, then we pretty much just, it's a great time to ask questions or share your opinion or, somehow just get in the conversation. If you need help with something, that's a great time to just, speak up. So, and then on Tuesdays, if anyone can join that session on Tuesdays every week, if you're in our just sort of like our community side of our Discord channel. So check us out if you're not already on there. And also the community channel general chat is a great place to ask questions as well if you're interested in maybe becoming a member or learning more about trading, getting into trading setups, then feel free to reach out to us there. Or if you just want to look at crypto names all day long, hell, we'll do that too. So anyhow, yeah, you can join our Discord here I have the website pulled up now here. There's a couple places just click on and join up with our group. So hopefully you do that. Otherwise, we're just doing this show every Sunday to cover our altcoin investment plan, the road to financial freedom, and all that stuff's available in that same community channel. The spreadsheet following this plan that we're doing for this show, which we're just kind of trying to nibble our way into the top 100 or so market cap altcoins down at the bottom of the range, and hopefully ride those things into glory sometime in the future. And then you can follow along that whole plan by reading. Paul kind of briefly shows the plan here in this show, but if you want to just actually read the plan, it's very simple and designed to be easy to implement and take advantage of the crypto cycle. And you can read that whole plan and actually look at the spreadsheet with all our levels just by, it's just Google sheet. So just pop in the group and find that. Otherwise, we do this every week. We kind of just go through 5 of the names, talk about some general crypto stuff, try to just keep our heads in the game and make sure we're ready to catch the bottom when it does come in. And sure enough, this week's a pretty upbeat and it's kind of an interesting place to be here. I was like, I like this crypto bubble site, and this is the last week, and so you can see a lot, mostly green here, and there's definitely some names that are up high and are up quite a bit. Definitely a lot of breakouts and a lot of weekly W's coming in. I'm building out my weekly W list, which, if I don't have time today as much to go through all those names, but on Tuesdays at the New York Stock Exchange close, I actually do another crypto show on YouTube. So you can check it out then, where I'll go over those more this week. So yeah, that's Tuesday afternoons for me. So anyhow, point being, we're at this place now where these things are breaking out hard. Perfect example of don't chase. If you're like a new person to this is exactly the moment where they're going to try to suck you into buying something that's like up. You buy something that's 30%, 40% up thinking, oh, it's going to go way higher. You might wake up a month or so down the road here and be way down on that buy, and you just realize that you kind of bought the local top. So be careful here. If you can't buy the actual breakouts, then you just got to wait for retests. And we do think that in general, this is probably sort of like, I don't want to call it a fake out right here. I don't know what's going to happen. And I've bought some of these breakouts and hopefully they do well here. But it could easily become like sort of a fake out where we end up just sucking people in on the long side and then kind of rolling lower into the end of the year like we've been talking about a lot lately. So in my mind, that makes it just a perfect chance to try to hunt retests of the strong breakouts. So if you're seeing like weekly W's right now coming in, which we are, then like hopefully in like a month or so, you can buy the retests of those breakouts. As a but the point here is don't go chasing something that's like 20-30% up here. It's just too late. We'll look at some of those in a minute here, but just as a warning, just be careful. Like we were just talking, Paul and I, before this you can sort of feel the FOMO's kind of coming in here. People are getting a little greedy, and I'm sure if we look at like fear and greed indicators, it's probably showing greedy right now. We can maybe find one of those. I pulled up this cool. I haven't looked at this chart before, so I don't. But I mean, this is a good example. It's crypto fear and greed index on coinglass.com, and the yellow is Bitcoin price, and you can see we're getting pretty greedy in Bitcoin here, making new highs actually in this greed index. So just that's like one warning. Maybe like doesn't CoinMarketCap have one of the fear and greed things? Where did I don't know. Oh, here it is, 72. So yeah, getting a little greedy. So be careful chasing is all I'm getting at here. But maybe backing up a little bit, I'll just make a couple comments on the broader market real quick. One, I also made a YouTube video like a few days ago that kind of talked about these charts a little bit. I won't go into them too much. You could go look at that video and not too much has changed. That was just a few days ago on Friday, I think. And that's on the public YouTube channel. But I was just talking about these sort of 38.2 battles that are going on in the bigger picture market, and it's just interesting. The dollar did break down to the downside. So this is a weekly chart. So we now have a weekly M in the dollar that actually closed here. So I think that's a good sign actually for sort of risk on investors. It'd be nice to see the dollar at least come back down into the range here, somewhere maybe even just to 50% level, middle of the range at like 103 before it bounces or something. It'd be nice to see that move down just to sort of help the bottoms come in and risk on. But nonetheless, the whole conversation on my video last week was just this 38.2 to 50%. This is like Collins' dump chaser zone, right? Like, so an M in this area would just kind of suggest sort of downwards continuation. This is a big old dead cat bounce then now. I mean, I don't know. This thing might turn around rip tomorrow, but there is strongly an M here. So like now maybe the dollar can start actually rolling over and getting back inside this sort of new range that's been established. It's basically the 50% level of this old range, right at the top of the dump chaser zone. And then the M came in right in that zone, obviously. And now we have like the lows here at 99. So we've carved out like a new range here, and it wouldn't be a huge surprise to see some sort of retest into this area, maybe even lower. We'll see. But there's an M. That's the first break in the DXY in forever. I mean, if you look at like the daily chart, it's just straight up. And eventually, like they kind of put in a fake out M and then now a solid M. So we'll see what happens. It's not like a done deal, but that's at least promising for like the bottoms in the stock market and stuff, and for crypto to just continue bottoming here. The stock market, I'll just say, gapped up into resistance, I'd say. So like, yeah, it's cool that the DXY might be rolling over. That might give juice to the stock market. But when I look at like this is the SPY. I mean, you can see the big old M here, and you can see the strong bounce in the pump chaser zone in this case. Like, came down into 38.2's 50% level zone, and also against like that 420 support that I've been talking a lot about lately. Clearly these highs are like support, and so it was like strong bounce off of there, but I don't know if we can call like a new uptrend here, right? We're just kind of gapping up violently into the M and the old sort of, so is this a lower higher in here, a trend line resistance off the bottom and stuff? Although my trend line looks like it got moved a little bit. What happened there? Sorry, let me just adjust it because I don't want it to be inaccurate. Yeah, so anyway, it's still, flirting with the trend line. So I think we bounced into resistance is all I'm saying. So yeah, the DXY might be rolling over, but this is kind of short location right now, right? We have like higher time frame short location, of course, off this big ol' M and the old highs, that range. But even now, if you draw like fibs off of the current high and just down to this low, we're starting to get up close to Mountain Man here. There's like a gap that still needs to be filled there. There's some gaps up higher. So, but any moves up into like, I don't know, what is that, 440 and higher? Definitely short location. And we kind of are like threatening to roll this whole trend over. So I don't think this is like a new bull right here. Hopefully it like does some, if you're a bull, hopefully it's like more sideways and we get better tests at 38.2s with like W's and stuff would be sort of a stronger bottom. That's not a very strong bottom. Just kind of dead cat bouncy looking. And same with the NASDAQ here, but NASDAQ's getting up into like trend line resistance. So I suppose the NASDAQ's a little farther along. Like if it starts getting on the other side of this trend line here and, setting up continuation patterns, like, some sort of ABCDs or something off of this low, then great. But the only thing I'll say here is this didn't even touch 38.2 and there is like open air still to be filled here. And I just keep looking at this gap. Actually, this is the QQQ. So it's the ETF. But man, look at that hole like right there at 38.2. So seems kind of like that's foretelling another rollover here. And there's like a sort of channel, parallel down channel here building that I suppose, it could get broken here if this is a bull, but could also just roll back over and eventually tag 38.2. So anyway, I'll leave the stock market at that. It looks like dead cat bouncy while the dollar does look like it did break to the downside. We'll just see what happens. And then, of course, well, Bitcoin is so the whole conversation of crypto is just the same. I guess since the last week, yeah, because last Sunday was, I guess the day before it broke out. Is that right? Was that, or I'm looking 2 weeks back? Sorry, yeah, last Sunday we were basically sitting right here at the same place, which is 38.2. So let me zoom out to a weekly chart really quick and just, because this is important so again, going back to don't chase, this is a perfect example why I think chasing altcoins right here is super dangerous. Because Bitcoin, is this support or resistance? I think you'd have to ask yourself. And is this a good place to be a buyer of Bitcoin? Or if you bought Bitcoin right here at the 38.2 rejection that it just had, off of the entire range, like, so that's like the dump chaser zone again, right? I could make that a little darker, but yeah, you see that's the Collins dump chaser zone because we're in a downtrend, like a broader market downtrend, and we're coming up into 38.2 resistance here. And so like, just like the DXY, like sure, maybe price gets higher up in here, but this is where the DXY just M'd out. Which ironically, the DXY and Bitcoin aren't exactly inversely correlated, but that's a whole other conversation. At the moment, at least. So anyway, like, yeah, you're buying Bitcoin. If you're like all in on crypto right here, just expect that like there's a good chance that we get a rejection here into resistance and actually have to roll back over. So this is why I don't think you should chase them. You could see like I drew this line off these candle body highs here, which is also 38.2. And if you think of that as just a big M, steep, but a big M to the downside, then that's like a retest of this M, right? So strong resistance, 38.2 strong resistance. The head and shoulders target is now complete. So, maybe we go higher, but just know that this is why if you like load up on an altcoin like one I missed, I unfortunately missed trying to get filled here yesterday. I mean, hopefully I can still, that's a bad place to look at it. Let me look at it on somewhere with more data. Like here's a perfect example of a great looking breakout in crypto right now that you can't chase. Really nice W right in a reload zone. Strong breakout, looks awesome. But zooming into a daily chart, I saw this breakout yesterday. I guess it was 2 days ago here, somewhere in here, and I will start working my bid down here. I'm not willing to chase. I was willing to buy 61.8 here, which is Mountain Man, and the actual weekly W breakout level. I would take a shot there, but it never came back down there, obviously. And now it's like if I chase right here, and then crypto or Bitcoin turns out to get rejected at 38.2 over the next month, and actually starts heading back down, what's going to happen to my purchase right here if I bought 180, which is in the short reload zone. Keep in mind, if we're ranging right here, uh, we just almost hit Mountain Man, so we have resistance right somewhere around here. Anyway, just trying to make this don't chase point because I think it's worth it right now because this is what's going to probably happen. My bet is this is what will happen. Is like they'll run this up into here and then roll it back over into the end of the year. And so if you buy Mountain Man here, you're basically buying into short reload zones right here. So just don't buy right here because if it gets rolled back down to here, you're going to be down from like, say you bought 190 and it comes back down to 150. That's a pretty, you're well underwater there, and it could even come back down to lower levels. So I hope that point's clear. I don't know how else to say it. Don't chase a market like this right here. Just calmly, if you can buy a W, like there's a couple that are still trying to break out, and sure, if you want to take your shot, here's a good example of one, actually, not to jump around too much, but that my point's made there. But like I bought this breakout and I can see it like coming back down. I only got one fill here, but see how like if I would have chased it up here, I'd be bummed. But I could still see getting filled at these levels here, but before the end of the year. So I'm trying to buy this. Like this is a weekly W breakout that I got one fill on because I was just patiently working my little nibbles here. So I still looking for like stabs down in there. So anyway, that's the end of my point about not chasing. Just be careful. I think that's fair to say. Maybe I can find one for you before Paul. Before we jump over to Paul, I'll find maybe one that isn't or that's closer to the breakout level. I know I saw one. Oh, some of my new ones because I'm adding anyway. I'll just talk about some of the new ones. So I have this whole list now, starting at HNTs at the top at the moment, all the way down to EGLD here, which is way too late to be a buyer. But these are all what I consider W breakouts. So I'm just kind of like stack. I mean, I can't realistically trade all of these, and also a lot of them aren't even available to me in the States. But I'm just trying to build a whole I just want to have like a gauge of like how many weekly W's are there in the market as opposed to how many that aren't. They're like making new lows and just trending down still. It's just, I can kind of get a gauge for sentiment by just sort of looking at all the bottoms. And so I'm just keeping this list, and it's getting fucking longer. Excuse my French. There's a lot more. I had like 11, 2 weeks ago, I had like 11 names on here. Now I have like 30 or something. I don't know. But the new ones for today were I got some alerts on like ACLX just a minute ago here, or an hour or two ago. You can see like that one's breaking out. So there's one where you could, at least like, sure, you're even kind of chasing in this one a little bit, and it's not the best W, but at least if you're buying this breakout, that's a lot better than buying the after the breakout. To be fair, this one, there is some downside risk here, and it's kind of steep W. But I got that one fired today. And then there was one other one. I think I added it here. Shit. Oh, I could probably see it in my alerts. LTO. So like, and then LTO I got a fire on today. I thought I drug it down in here. There it is. Another perfect example. This one's in the progress. So at least like, if you're, say you bought this breakout here and you risk, I mean, we'll risk to the old low all the way back here, even though technically probably risk to zero for me. Well, for me, just if I was little old lady style trading this thing. But just to make my point here, like we'll risk to the old low. So if you buy this breakout here, you could get a double, with the move right to there, just to the against the old highs. But you could also bang like well, just up to that high would be like 3-to-1, 3+to-1, 227% move back to eat this high. So like your risk to reward's pretty good. But if you start chasing, like say you wait for this to break out, you FOMO in up here, which is against the M right here. So horrible place to be FOMOing in, but just kind of play with this tool and see how all of a sudden you have way more downside risk, and like you can barely bang a double out against that move. You need that huge move up to here to get your double. And that's like all well and good, but what happens when this thing rolls over and it ends up being 20 cents in 2 months and you've lost like, 60% of your value or something. So hopefully I'm kind of hammering that point, but buy your breakouts or even be stinkier, but don't chase after they've broken out. But this is a great, I mean, I'm showing you one right here. Fuck, that looks like a weekly W breakout to me, right? It's right on the level, so I'm not saying it has to give you a double here. I'm just saying that if things kind of rip here, you could. And then just I'll leave off that whole conversation with just the context of me personally. I think like, yeah, hopefully some of the ones I bought take off. Hopefully I can get some W's, doubles. But really, I think we'll probably roll back over, and then I'll be looking to buy the retests of like stuff like that HNT. Where was I looking at it? You know, hopefully like something like this. I'm just willing to patiently wait here, and then it, like get filled somewhere down in that $1.50 area. So anyway, those are nice looking charts though. Damn. Don't FOMO. That's, I mean, this is exactly the time that FOMO. Remember, nobody was FOMOing here. Funny enough, like people didn't really feel FOMO. Now all of a sudden, everybody's FOMOing, but right into Bitcoin resistance. So, you know, Paul's talking about like 10 Rs and stuff. I get he's getting on like ape and. And this is like, I'm talking about weekly charts here. Like we could get into like, we have our indicator, the THG, which is a great way to like, something like this is still too late here, but something that was maybe not as far gone in yours. If you're sharp and you have your trading plan together and this is like sort of our approach in the group. Like, we're talking about weekly charts here. There was a lot of time to buy this. Like I didn't personally, I wasn't hunting it. I wish I would have, but I suppose like something like this, if you're trading the daily chart, you could see the W originally came in down here in the reload zone. So you could have been shopping in there. Even that last FU, they kind of took the low there. Not quite, but they tried to. But point being, there was a lot of times to buy this earlier. But you could even keep zooming in on this, and like at some point you'll see that like our THG setup was probably starting to fire in there. There was probably like potential 10 to 1s in that move, even like if you're trading 5-minute charts like we do in the group. So of course that requires a lot more effort on your part to get your act together, but that's what we do in our group. So there's a lot of ways to look at these charts, but for this show, we're basically talking about these sort of patient, I'm gonna patiently try to buy this thing down at a 150 again into the end of the year, and then hopefully I'm banging doubles out at like the $3 range, which is just to test these highs like down sometime next year as the halving comes in and all that stuff. So just it clearly like the more you zoom in, the more difficult it becomes, I'd say. But in general, the same plan kind of concept and the idea of having a trading plan and trading setups is the same. It's just harder to implement as you zoom in more and more, and requires more time, and you have to pay more attention, and you have to keep your emotions in check more. It just gets more intense the lower the time frame. But the basic concept's the same, and the setups for that matter. So anyway, that's kind of our group again. Like if we do this show for the public and we're talking about these zoomed out things, we think that you should learn that first, and you should definitely have sort of in the back of your mind how like a sort of weekly chart plan goes, and hopefully implementing. I mean, if you're listening to us on these shows at all, hopefully you're interested in trying to take advantage of the crypto cycle, if you want to call it that, like just the sort of 4-year cycle that we're heading into is exactly the best time to be listening right now to get ready for that. And you can see the bottoms coming in. I mean, just looking at this chart alone is a perfect example. Holy shit, this chart's amazing. So first of all, there's tons of upside, clearly, right? Like, I mean, $20 or something. I'm not even going to start targeting higher. I mean, there's plenty of upside. So like, that's great. But like, doesn't that look, I mean, if anything, that looks like the bottom I'm always talking about, like the like slide out, right? And now we have this fat weekly W here. And sure, you're chasing right here, but you still, dude, to be fair, I mean, like if you're truly a long-term investor that wants to chase right here, I mean, that's fine. You'll probably do okay, but just, you have to be the type of person that has a plan so you can get out if you need to or something, I don't know. But I mean, I don't want to chase that. But like still, holy shit, you can see like when it does take out the high here at like $22.23, it's just going to be a huge W. So anyway, point being, obviously the time to buy crypto is now. Like not maybe today, but in the next few months. You can see the bottom. Damn. I mean, I could look through like the LTO chart. Looks amazing. I'll just before Paul jumps on here in a second, I'll scroll through really fast. I won't even zoom in. Like RSR. Holy shit! Look at that thing. Like the W's in, and it's just got so much upside. Mana's one. I'm averaged in right around the W's, so I'm pretty happy about that. Badger, I bought that breakout. Tons of upside. Quantum, I've been Quantum's an old one that I've held for a while too. So I've been nibbling on this, and I bought that breakout. It might turn into a bigger breakout. I bought this C98 breakout, which looks like it's testing the level almost. Just be patient. Point being, these all look kind of like bottoms, right? Like that's strong breakout rows that I bought too. This one's a great example of don't chase. You chase this one here at 65 cents, it's probably gonna be 44 cents pretty soon. Maybe not, we'll see. Anyway, I'll stop there and Paul, jump on whenever you're ready. But just while we're waiting for Paul, just look at all those little breakouts. BNT kind of looks ugly. This poly's been insane. That one's not. So yeah, Siacoin, great breakout. So hopefully I made my point. Hey, sir.
Yep, I'm here.
You can show everybody the 10R you just got on whatever.
No. It's a secret.
EGLD, don't chase it.
Yeah, don't chase. Okay, let's change my chart to what we are speaking about today.
Yeah, we do have your screen up, ready to go.
What we have, well, I was hoping for this one, and you can see what happened. Another 10R on ape. So it's not a clear 10R because we took some profit here, but you can see hit our 10 risk to reward and will probably go higher. Another one for I don't know, fourth one or fifth one this month. Okay, let's go back on what we are talking about today. So, road to financial freedom. We left at 50. We talked last time about AGIX. Now we'll start with RNDR. And let's see the chart. We don't have a fill on this one, you can see here. But let's see what we have on the chart. Weekly basis, you can see here the W's, breakout, some kind of retest here at 61.8 and up. If we'll go without us, so be it. I'm not chasing at $2 and something. I could trade. I could find a different method to get some free coins, but for this plan, no. So you can see where we are waiting at 70 cents. I think it's a good level to wait. It's still possible, let's not say probable, but at least possible to get that level. I don't feel the FOMO at this point. Actually, looking at what I see on Twitter and in the community, I see beginners trying to FOMO. Okay, let's buy what I could buy. I got some calls. What I should buy now, it's a good level on this one. This environment, in this period of time, I don't think is the best. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's hope that I'm wrong and we'll have a bull market, but I don't think so. So, on this one, I'll still wait here. I missed the bus, the original bus here. You can see W on weekly chart. We had a couple of them. But now I'm not chasing. You can see, yeah, it's a strong project. Yeah, I like it, but I'm not chasing any altcoin. I'm not chasing not even Bitcoin. So render, we will patiently wait for a retracement. If I'll see, I don't know, next year, if I'll see something different and I'll see, okay, this one is never going back, okay, I could reassess and maybe I'll change the limit order. For the moment, I'm okay with what I have. Let's take a look at the next one. So, Rune. Let's see what we have on Rune. We had a fill, I guess, at 1.4. Let me check.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Miko's seen
we
we
have
got a double. I got a double on Rune.
yeah. So we have a double.
Woo!
Now we should think about what we can do to reload. So on this one, we can see 1.4, 2.8. Now it's more than that. Don't chase here. Yeah, could go a lot higher, but you don't have the risk to reward to buy at $3.30. You just don't have the risk to reward on the long run. So we had this one, we have a double, we have free coins. Now we have 1 full% to buy again. I'll let this order here. We don't know if this one will not be hit. So I don't need to modify this one. What I can do now, I just take my fib and whatever the top will be, just draw a long reload zone. Yeah. If the market wants to go higher, okay, I'll just drag the long reload zone. You can see the reload zone is not moving too much, even if the price will reach, I don't know, $7, $8. But for the moment, it's here. I'm okay with that. You can see some confluence in the long reload zone. Let's wait and see what will happen if the market will go back in the long reload. Actually, I'm looking at this point in time. I'm tempted just to put my buy limit order exactly at the same place, 1.4. Then I think, looking at what we have now, I think it's a good level to think to buy back again. So buy again at 1.4. So let's just put something here to remember that. Buy again 25%. So I'll have 0.5 here and another 0.5 a lot lower. Nothing I can do at this point in time. Keep in mind, if in my plan, if the market will go from 2.8 to give me another double, let's say 5 or even higher, I'm not selling again. So I have free coins. I keep the free coins for the top of the bull market. I'm not selling half at a double anymore. Just one shot and that's it. That's my plan. Maybe you have something different. It's up to you, but in my plan is only one shot and that's it. Free coins, I keep that for the top of the bull market. For the moment, I'm okay with 1.4. Just I have to remember to update the chart because otherwise Meek will punish me. Okay, next one. Let's see which is the next one. IMX. We have a feel on this one. Let's see what we have on the chart. Well, we're close to that double. And you can see we managed to get the bottom here. 52 cents. So a good level. You can see we tested 2 times. Try to push higher, but didn't manage to get a double. But now, if we go above $1, we'll get a short level. Get free coins, and then we can reassess where we should put our next limit order. So I'm just assuming now that the market will go above $1 and we should draw a long reload zone. For the moment, it's just an assumption. We need to confirm, we need to get that order to get the free coins, and then we can reload back in the long reload zone. But actually, you can see that level is pretty close to our limit order level. I'll reassess after I'll get a shot on this one. I want to see more results. If the market will push a lot higher, let's see in this area, okay, then the long reload zone will be a lot higher, and I could put my limit order higher. If the market will stop here, just give me a feel and then back down, I'm okay with putting my limit order at the original place where we bought first time. You can see here some could retest at least these 2 candles. Even if we have a W on weekly chart, is the first one this year. Let's call it that way. Yeah, and could be retested. Could be even a market could go and retest this one even deeper. We don't know. Looks really strong, this one. Honestly, W breakout, and you can see retest another W, another breakout. I'll be glad to put my limit order here, higher, exactly at the breakout from this W. For the moment, I'm just waiting. Let's see what will happen. And let's change the color on this one. No, this one. Just, no, I have another. I have too many of them. Okay, blue. It's better to, I'll keep in mind to check it again. So, let's hope for a shot. What you can do now, check if you have the limit order in the market. Could be just a week to the upside. If you have it, you'll sell half. If you don't, you can miss the bus. So I think it's better to be damn sure that you have that order in the market. Okay, next one. Let's see what we have. So, chilies. This one we don't have a fill. I was a cheap ass and I put a limit order a lot lower. Let's see what we have. Well, I'm okay with what I did. I don't have a problem with this limit order, and I still think we can get that level. This looks like a weekly W, but if you look on, you zoom out a little bit and you see lower highs, lower lows. This is not a valid W in my opinion. Let's see. No, it's not. Looks like one, but no. So on this one, nothing to do. I'll keep my limit order here. Either I'll see a clear W, weekly W, and then I could change my mind. Until then, I'm okay with keeping the order here. We don't know. Let's wait and see what will happen at the end of the year. Tax loss selling and stuff like that. Maybe a Black Swan event. Maybe even after the halving, we can get a nice dump on this one. We don't know. Until I'll see a clear weekly W breakout and retest, I'm okay with that order at 3 cents. So nothing to do on this one, just wait. Let's take a look at the next one. And the next one is clay, and the last one. Let's see this one. Well, we bought a lot higher on this one. I don't know if you can consider this a W. I don't. So we bought at 22 cents, I guess. Yeah, 22.85. Nothing to do at this point. I don't see that wide weekly W to buy another 0.5. I'm okay with what we have. This one could form a power of 3 kind of a setup here and pump and test this level, maybe even higher. And maybe you can get even a sell half on a double. So what you can do is check if you have the limit order in the market. That's it. Nothing we can do more. I don't see that weekly W. I'm not impressed. Could go a lot lower. I don't know how low this one could go, but I need that W. Until I'll see that weekly W, nothing to do. Okay. We talked about 5 coins. Let's resume again. So on this one, we have a double. Okay, we have 3 coins. We'll reload here at the original place and still keep the original, this one at 30 cents. Keep the limit order. Render, waiting at the same level. Clay, we spoke about. We have 0.5. Check the limit order to sell half on a double and nothing more than that. This one, let's hope, let's buy and pray kind of idea. We'll get 3 coins, maybe even today, maybe next week, who knows. This one, like I said, is not a clear W. Yeah, could pump, but I'm okay with keeping my order at 3 cents. So that's about it from the 5 coins this week. A lot of FOMO in the market. I'll repeat, I'll say again. A lot of not new people. We don't have new people in the market, but the beginners, people who bought the top, people who are less than 2 years in this market, they are feeling the FOMO. I don't think it's a good idea. Let's hope that I'm wrong, but let's protect our capital. This plan assumes that we'll get probably in the top of the bull market somewhere next year, maybe in 2020, 2025 even. We don't know yet. And we don't need to know. We need to buy low, sell half on a double, accumulate, and then wait for the bull market to start. I don't think a bull market will start, a clear bull market will start before the halving. Yeah, I know a lot of influencers, they are calling that. This time is different. I know. Every time is different, but every time is the same. So let's protect our capital and don't try to be greedy because you can buy the top here. And even if in the big perspective doesn't look like much, in this example, let's just take room. Yeah. In a bigger picture, maybe it doesn't look like much. Okay, I'll buy $3 and I could still make some profit if we go to all-time highs. Okay, yeah, indeed. But if you are thinking this way, you'll buy the top here at $3.30. You'll still be okay with this one if we'll go at 10 times lower. Yeah, now it's $3 and it could go at 30 cents. You'll still be okay with what we bought. Let's say you bought $100 and you'll have $10 worth of it. I don't think so. It's up to you. If you don't have a clear plan, make a clear plan and don't buy on the FOMO or fear or any feeling. You should buy with a clear plan. We have one. If you like it, take it, use it. It's free. If you like it but you want to change something, make a copy, make your own plan, but work with a plan. Don't work with emotions. Too many people will buy the top. That's how the market is working. But that doesn't mean you have to be that guy. I prefer not to. The rest is up to everyone. Yeah, you can come here, make a copy, make your own plan, make your own copy, then come here, modify this plan if you don't like it, maybe put something else, but work with a plan. You have here a lot of things. Start to read me first. Start with red. That's why it's with red to read that. We are not financial advisors. But you can see a complete spreadsheet to buy, to even start a dollar cost averaging plan. You can see we'll add our plan here. I said I'll do it this month or even last month. I changed my mind and I'll keep waiting a little bit more. Why? Because I saw the new projects. They have between 10 and 20% in the market. The rest of the coins, they need to be released, and most of them until the halving. So I don't see any point to start now. We can start a bit later. Yeah, new projects, I like them. I'll buy them now? No. I'll wait, probably the same idea. Give me weekly W. So we'll probably add this one. I don't know if we'll do it for free for everyone, but for premium members, definitely. All the new projects. But it's not the time yet. You can put everything here. Yeah? You can choose, you can pull update automatically, you have statistics, you have everything you want. Just make a copy and work with a plan. Please don't work with feelings. Don't type in the chat what I should buy now. You should not buy anything now. Yeah, because you don't have a plan. We are not buying at the market, never. We are buying with limit orders, and people who watch this series saw in the beginning of the year, everyone was bullish. Okay, we'll go to the moon. You missed the bus. Paul and Kevin, you suck. You don't know what you're talking about. We'll go straight up. And I said, okay, maybe it's right, but let's put some limit orders. in the long reload zone, maybe below. And you can see how many fields we have from that. You can see a lot of checks here. We still have some of them, but we're patient and we'll wait until we'll get some fields. Maybe some of them will not give us a field, but you can see the results. When we start, we didn't have anything. So my point is, don't FOMO. Yeah, we can go higher, but you don't have an advantage to buy now. If you don't have a clear plan, let's say, like Kevin is saying, okay, I'll buy weekly W breakouts. Yeah, it's okay. He knows what he's doing. He's buying a small amount. He's okay if that W will fail and the market will go 10 times lower. He has enough money to buy again another small amount. He'll average him down and then we'll sell half on a double. But he's working with a plan. He's not FOMOing in at this level. Okay. I don't know. We'll do the giveaway. What do you say, Kevin?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, until you'll prepare the giveaway, let me show you what I see on these charts. So on DXY, we left the range we are talking about on the daily plan videos. Let's see if we'll close and what will happen Monday. Yeah, I want to see it's a fake out here or it's a real breakdown. You know what I'll assume. Traders know. Traders who know me, they know I'll assume it's a fake out and we'll go back in the range. Yes, we did A, B equals CD. We're back. We'll try a short here somewhere in this area. Bitcoin. We are exactly at 35K. Yeah. This level is not for trading. In my opinion, don't trade this level. We'll have ugly volatility probably in the end of this candle. Keep in mind, weekly candle will close pretty soon. I don't think it's in your best interest to try to day trade or to scalp or to do something at this level. I assumed it's a fake out here in the top. Until now, seems like I was right and was just a fake out. Let's see what will happen here. If the market will reject from this level and will go back and will form a lower low, okay, then we know for sure, almost for sure, that we're back in the range and we can look lower. For the moment, we can retest this level and we can go up and down. I don't have a clear overview. Ethereum in the short reload zone has some ground to recover. Don't be aggressively trying to short this one. So we have a good location to think short, but nothing else. Some potential here. Some yams trying to form, but look at the OBV. I don't think you want to get in front of this until you have a clear setup. Bitcoin dominance. I posted this chart when was here. I said I want an M. We got that M. We got the breakdown. We got the retest, and you can see the result. I'm expecting a bounce from this level. Maybe, I don't know, today, maybe tomorrow. But overall, what I want and what I think is possible to happen, I don't know if it will happen, but what is probable to happen, in my own view, is to retest the 50% level. After that, we will probably push higher. But we have some resistance here. Yeah? Some support, actually, not resistance. So the market has to pass this level to go to 50. Let's see what will happen. In this environment is the best time to trade with Holy Grail. And you'll see people from VIP posting some nice wins this weekend. Yeah, it's okay. You can get a 10, even more, 10 hour or more with Holy Grail if it's the right environment. Ethereum versus Bitcoin. I said multiple times that I want a W. Well, I don't know. You can consider this a W or not. Line chart, no. Candles, yeah. You can say that it's a W. Now I'll be even more cheap ass and I'll say, okay, give me something like this. Give me a W the other side of this trend line. Now this trend, this was a trend channel, and now give me a double the other side. That will mean market will go up, retest this initial level, and then maybe you can go up. I don't have a trade here. I'm not trading Ethereum versus Bitcoin. What I'll do, I'll just buy some Ethereum with Bitcoin if I'll have a clear setup on higher time frame, daily, weekly, and something like that. That's my overview. I'll do a video in the morning about the daily levels. There I'll go on 4-hour chart. I'll give some levels on the swing trading. We have some swing trades in the market. Same idea on daily, just a quick overview. This one is a new one. Some nice trades here. Yeah, so we are working. This one is lagging, but I'm okay with that. This one doesn't want to give me a fill. I don't have a problem. You can see RSR, we took it this week. So we have some trades in the market, but we are not chasing. We bought here. Now we have more than 10R on this one. Let's see. Well, it's 15-1, something like that. Now, okay, it's not about this live stream. Let's focus on what we have, and let's let Kevin to give the giveaway. I don't know. We had a problem with the giveaway. Why? I remember that I posted the link last Sunday. I look on Twitter. I didn't find that link. I needed to post a new one, and I think we have fewer retweets.
Yeah, we only have like 6 or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe from mistake I deleted the original tweet, or I didn't post it. I don't know exactly. But let's change the screen to Kevin.
Yeah, I already did. Yeah, I already got the wheel of fortune. So can you hear me, Paul? Just making sure. Am I still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Ah, okay, good.
Well, you can spin the wheel. I'll beat the drum. I don't know if he's.
All right. Yeah, yeah, okay. I'm gonna hit it right now. Fuck it. All right. Kita's here. Kita's here.
I don't see it. My YouTube is behind. I don't know. Kita's here.
It's
that one.
Kita's here.
Well, congrats. DM me on Discord, and we'll discuss the price. It's usually 1 month premium membership, but if you're already a premium member, you can choose a 1-to-1 with one of us, me, Kevin, Stefan. So, congrats. We have any requests?
Yeah, there's a bunch of requests. Do you want me to do them, or you want to do them?
Yeah, I'll let you do it.
Yeah, D-Max, sorry, man. There was some issue with the retweets, so that's what Paul's talking about. So if you weren't on there, sorry. I don't know what else to say. We're doing the best we can. But we'll just do another one next week. I think I saw a bunch of requests in here, though. Let's see. Let me scroll up a little bit in the comments, because
I don't know why YouTube is
YouTube
behind on my part. No, it's okay, but I'm not seeing the live. Just
all right, it might be lagging a little bit. Oh yeah, GNS and Quick are the first ones here. Let's see. Go find GNS here. Yeah, so is this this isn't Steppen, is it, or whatever? That's GMS or GMT. Well, I saw like almost a weekly W, but I first thing I saw, which is just a classic move here, is they FU'd that low, so it's not really a weekly W. However, that is a common occurrence in the world of markets. They just basically politely washed any stops that were right there and then ripped it right afterwards. So, I mean, this is if you're like a weekly chart trader, and I can't tell you to call this a W or not call it a W. I suppose you just kind of have to use your best judgment and your own experience to. I don't really have a huge problem with it, to be honest, but it's not technically a W. So, if we're speaking, you know, hard truths here, it's not a W, but it's damn close either way. And I see OBV divergence. So, I mean, I like this chart in general. Like, there's a divergence here in OBV that came in before that time back here. Actually didn't confirm until this breakout candle. So, yeah, I mean, you could have the same story with all these like that we've just been talking about. If you wanted to buy the breakout, sure, but now I don't want to chase it really. Even that's the like soonest opportunity. You likely could get filled this week here if you're really interested in this thing. And maybe lower too. I'm not saying you have to buy a breakout. That's just sort of like the bare minimum highest level I'd be willing to go. Because if you look at like maybe zoom in a little bit and just look what's going on, I mean, sure, it might take off here for sure. Like, I mean, it had like its first initial burst here, and now it's like pulling back to like 38.2s. And so maybe it sets up and moves higher. Or I'll draw my fibs off the actual low here and just so you can see how it was in like the pump chaser zone here. So like, yeah, 50% it's the bottom at the moment. And so, yeah, it could be a bull flag here and might shoot higher. But there's also a really good chance of just being able to get filled here. And I'm talking kind of like daily charts here now, not necessarily like weekly investing. But if you still think this weekly breakout has steam, you want to trade this thing, then you could likely get filled here this week. I wouldn't be surprised if they dip it down into the reload zone. And then, of course, just going back to the weekly chart, if you want to buy it as an investor, I think that same zone is still sort of the what's on the table. Anywhere below 371. Holy shit! I almost sorry, I almost knocked my coffee on. Anyway, yeah, reload zones or at least 370 and below. What is that to be specific? 371 and below is kind of like the sort of zone that I'd be interested in. I don't know what other data is on this thing, but in general, it looks pretty good. I mean, it kind of looks the same as a lot of, it's just still if you're kind of like looking at this in the context of like trying to load up here in the next few months, then yeah, that will probably retest the W level anyway. Kind of like this one. Geez, there's really not. Maybe I could find some more data on this one. I can't. I don't. Probably not on Coinbase. Well, that's against Bitcoin. Holy shit. Quick. Actually, Coinbase does have a lot more data. Wow, that looks a lot different. Yeah, this one's like in the bottoming process, but no weekly W yet. So, I mean, clearly tons of upside. And clearly location's not bad. Look at the little FUs they've basically done sort of more zoomed out. This is kind of like a weekly sort of FU, but see how they never even closed it below that? Like that's why we like to target these like sort of capitulation bottoms after, this happens a lot, like wherever, the selling stopped here. There's like obviously like capitulation through these weeks here where people were just running for the exits. But for whatever reason, that level became the bottom. And we saw like a significant bounce, dead cat bounce right after that low. That becomes like a key level, right? So when we're trying to like hunt stink bids and shit, like we're talking about in this plan for this show today, that's a key level, like, especially like the candle body lows even. But you can see how they've basically just starting to bottom it right off that level. No weekly W yet, but it's trying. So great location here. And then they just, FU'd the lows, but couldn't close below it. And just now it's just sort of basing through here. It's not a guarantee that they won't take the lows out by any means, but it's a nice cheap place to take a shot against this kilo here. And like indicators, one OBV is generally trending higher, although I do see like kind of like M's coming in here and it's sort of running out of steam kind of. But if you zoom in a little bit, Can't really call divergences in here because this is the low, so we don't have them move to new lows, which kind of makes me think they probably even run it down to new lows here first again, and then that'll actually set up. I mean, I guess technically we ticked through to a new low here, so I don't know. You could. It's kind of getting close. I mean, that is technically moving to a new low, so I suppose you could argue the OBV div is coming in, but it kind of looks like it's waffling here. Really, kind of need a stronger W close, like close up at $60 or something, just to at least make that W. But here it's just like a lot of little dojis, so easily could just fall out of bed, especially if the rest of the market does. But either way, it's cheap level right here if you're trying to take a shot against the old lows. Well, I just kind of think we're getting so much closer, but still a little early. It's funny how like a few weeks ago crypto looked like hell, and it was like, yeah, I just got to be patient, patient, patient. But it's getting closer, and now we're even more closer. We're starting to get tons of weekly W's and stuff, but like still, it's like we're almost a little too early. Like when I look at something like this, it's not truly breaking out, whereas a lot of the market is. So it just kind of tells me I do still think the next few months is the window. So like, let's just not get ahead of ourselves. Getting so much closer though. And there's like trades in the short term for sure, like Paul was just saying. So let's see. Those are two, Quick and GNS. They look pretty good. And then there's let's see, FT. Is that the FT and SPA and GAL? It looks like, I don't know what FT is. I guess it's fraction. Oof. If it's that, I don't know. I'm not into that at all. Looks like it's pointing down, right? And this is a big old M. There's nothing really here. We have a bunch of downside risk and then just nothing to make me think that rounded out bottom that I'm hunting for. So I don't know if that's the one you're actually asking about, but FitFi. Oh, that's a different one, FitFi. But whatever this FT is, I don't like it. FitFi, I think is on Qcoin, but we'll look at Bybit for fun. Well, that's a perpetual swap. Let me find it on something else. This is a step app for sure. It's not not the other one, but this definitely one of those like walk to earn crypto, which like that was the whole narrative last time around. I mean, like, what's going to be the narrative this time? I've asked that multiple times in the show, but like, just this is a good, the step in thing was a big narrative last cycle for just I guess it was sort of even after the most of the cycle if I remember correctly, but the walk to earn or exercise to earn type model, like I don't know, there's gonna be some more stuff like that in the future. I wonder what they're gonna be, what some of the like driving narratives will be. I see like a weekly W here, so that's a good start. Sure, it was in this horrible bear market just making new lows up until sort of like that sort of same capitulation last kind of washout of the final sellers that were willing to panic sell kind of idea that happened back in June. And now we've just been basing ever since with nice W's though. Like, not quite solid confirmation on any of these W's that came in back here. Like the first one didn't really break out until this wick up to the upside, which also made like the second one, but it also couldn't close very strong. But sure enough, just 2 weeks ago, we got like kind of not really like a close above those highs, but it's definitely trying. And of course, now it's just getting kind of knocked back down into the W, which is very buyable. So like, at least this is in good location to be a buyer right here. You're not chasing the pump. It's just, will it go or not? We don't really know yet. It's sort of lagging, you could argue. Then there's like a group of these coins right now that are definitely like driving the sort of mini rally we're having right at the moment. And then there's things like this, which this week it was a down week, so it wasn't actually ripping. Hasn't quite taken off yet. But if you like the name and want to take a nibble, I mean, I wouldn't fault him, but it's sitting like at 61.8 right here, and it's kind of into these W's. I would just say that these W's aren't truly confirmed yet. So you're front running that like a nice clean W a little bit, but I mean, they are. I guess it comes down to also whether or not you want to see a strong close above the breakout level. If you just use the price action, then you could argue this big wick up was confirm these two W's. And it's just like I mean, not much to say about RSI, although it was really oversold for a while, and now it's starting to get back into the range there. And OBV has basically W'd, not divergence, but is pointing higher. And you can see the volume kind of came in, so it's like somebody's accumulating this. You can kind of see how OBV turned, and now it's straight up. So like somewhere in these levels here, it looks like accumulation's happening, which is a good sign. Just a question of whether or not these lows hold. We don't know for sure. But in general, I like it. I think spa is, oh wait, that's not what I want to do. Spa. I got some of this. Yeah, you can see my trade from Qcoin, but it's moved now. That's a funny example of I just bought the same level back for my second car, like exactly. Although I don't know if I might have been kicked off Qcoin before that, now that I think about it. Ugh, so annoying. It's going to be a thorn in my side for this time around. Just how much I've gotten, that getting kicked off Qcoin really sucked. And now like being confined to like Kraken and Coinbase is going to be a little painful to watch this go around, because even in my weekly W list here, there's a lot of names I don't have easy access to. This one I do on Coinbase, but nonetheless, you can kind of see this one was, good example of sort of last time. This W came in back here, kind of ugly, but definitely had a breakout, and I didn't chase it up here. Going back to that chasing conversation, I just simply drew reload zones and started hunting lower levels, and you can see how my average cost is 78.6 of that range. So I was, back here, I wasn't chasing it right here. This is like exactly where we're at right now. We're in that candle right now on a lot of these names. I just drew my fibs, and you can see how I got back in right around 78.6 and took several weeks and got a double out after they ran it again. And then sure enough, we actually ended up taking out the lows now. Same kind of idea. We FU'd the lows here. I think I'm going to be hunting buying this one actually again. You can see how they kind of took out, they just barely took the lows. That did actually close below that level a little bit, but just reclaimed it. Now they're trying to W. They haven't. So this one also has not confirmed a W. In fact, I'll put an alert right here just so I can get my alert when I want to add it to my weekly W list. We'll see what happens. Which is all I've been doing lately. I've been working alerts on all these, and just when they trigger, I add them to my list and just keeping an eye on them. It looks like they ran it right up into the level though, actually, 478.2, 4,800. So they didn't actually, they didn't quite tick it through the W. But this one took out the range. So I guess, I would have drawn fibs, had my fibs up here, and I suppose hunting up in this area and stuff wouldn't have been the worst idea if you're just kind of hitting levels, especially if you're reloading. Like I was going to just have I don't think I got that fill, to be honest, because that was in June. I think I got kicked off Qcoin in May. So anyway, you hunting reload zones through that, like, isn't the worst idea, but you can see how it didn't really W. It's a good example of why we wait for W's, because it didn't want to bottom there. But sure enough, it's still within the lows enough for me to still kind of think of this range. Any moves back into the range, it's just reclaim the range. So a W here would be nice confirmation that range is holding for the moment, and we could maybe expect prices to move back in. And really, even that breakout level's at 48, so then a double's only going to be up here, like up against these kind of levels in that wick high there. So clearly buying the W for a buying the W for a double inside of this range is reasonable. I don't mind that. And I want to do that actually. But let's look at the indicators just for some additional confirmation. I can see RSI's like in divergence through there, but not confirmed. And then also OBV here is in divergence. So there is a divergence here in OBV. If you go back to these lows and we think about that move, you can see OBV is just is creeping higher through there, but not confirmed. It would have to take out this high here to truly confirm. So not really strong confirmation yet, but we do have a W confirmation. So that's enough for me. Like just seeing the W there and also seeing a weekly W here would be enough for me to take a shot. And this would be a perfect example of like if my alert fires and I can just come to my computer and buy that level, I'm totally fine with that. I mean, it's at 88.6 basically of that range. So I would just, but I'm not going to front run it. The funny thing too is I mean, like you can front run it if you want, but that's the funny thing about trading is you're always kind of like weighing, like I'm not going to chase it, but I'm also not going to front run this W. So I'm not saying you have to do like what I do, but like it's just, that's a funny thing about trading. I'm going to let it fire. And then if I can buy that level, I'm going to buy it. And then if it goes away from me, I'm going to draw my reload zones and buy pullbacks to that level. So it's like, but you have to train yourself to be able to do that, or you're always gonna be chasing shit. And anyway, I like this one though, and I just will wait for that W to fire. So Gal is the next one. Oh wait, that was a swap. Nice W though. Oh, and then the spot market doesn't have the W. Oh, it does. This one reminds me of one I was talking about the other day, but I can't remember the name now. I mean, it is W's with these tails being like magnets, and the tails sort of increase the downside risk. So yeah, if you're buying this W breakout right here, it's a much wider W because of these tails, and so you do have much, like if you're working a stop all the way down here, your risk window is a lot bigger. But I mean, I'm just splitting hairs a little bit here. I mean, there's a W that broke out like ever since this level, and we're trying to close here. So it'd be nice to see that close above that level today. This is the weekly chart. So when this weekly bar closes, anywhere from here or higher would be nice just to sort of give us a candle body close above the W level. So yeah, I like it. There's like 40% downside risk to that low. So it's not that bad, but we know the drill of this. It's like, sure, it could roll over, but whatever. It's a weekly W. If you want to take a shot off this, location's good. They did kind of like F you these old lows here. Never really strongly closed below. They just sent those two tails down there. I just kind of see tails like that as magnets, so just keep that in mind. Could be good places for stink bids. Like a nice stink bid level, it would be like those candle body lows right there into that tail. Just have your bid working patiently there, and you might see they dip it down and then run it. But they might leave you behind. You just never know. And then the last thing I'll say about this one is nice OBV divergence. So we do have, that's a little weird actually. Technically the move to that low here set up a potential divergence, which is actually confirming now. But like we also dipped to a new low through here and price didn't. So we don't have like divergence from this area. So that becomes, then you could still hunt your div like that. It's just a little weird because the bulk of this price action wasn't below this low. So I don't know. It's sort of questionable for it's not my favorite divergence. I'll just say that, but it's there. And otherwise OBV is generally pointing up, and it's kind of Wing out, and it has W's through this. So it's not bad. It has the basic pieces, right? And it's sitting right at the level, the breakout level. So it was a little chasey right there maybe, but just like the other ones I said, it's like I'm not okay with buying that level or below. I'm not okay with chasing it. And this one has better confirmation than that last one I just looked at. What else we got? I don't know what you're saying about you're a holder, Andre, what I was talking about, but you were asking about the plan. And just to reiterate, if you join our Discord, the free room on our Discord, then you can go to the Crypto Weekly Review channel, and the spreadsheet Paul was working from here a minute ago is up there with all that information. You could either use it to see our levels, or you could erase everything and use the spreadsheet, and we'll make a copy first and then use this cool spreadsheet that Miku built where it pulls in all of the price data and stuff, and there's nice statistics for your actual portfolio value, and a real good way to keep track of your own investment plan trades log. So you can do both those things, but that's on the Crypto Weekly Review channel in our Discord, and you just have to be a free member, and you also have to probably get verified. So if you do join our Discord, I think you got to email message Paul, because we do have a problem with scammers, of course, and just fake profiles and all that stuff. So we're always constantly trying to weed out every day trying to weed out the fake new members. So we do have like a verification process, but anyway, that's
Andrei has that. He
what's
is
that?
verified already.
Oh, cool.
Andrei is already verified. He's just too lazy to look at in Discord. He
uh,
has all the access he needs. I even posted in the chat. He has access. Just needs to find that channel and to take the plan.
yeah.
Weekly crypto review. You'll see the channel. You have all the documents, even the tutorial made by Miku, a video tutorial. You have everything you need to start working.
Yeah, it's all there. Somebody asked
Yeah.
about TRB, but I know, damn, look at that thing. Fucking hell. This thing has just been on fire. Of course, this is what we want to find these, into the next cycle. Damn, this, I mean, it's a 10x or not quite yet, almost. I mean, look at the W. I mean, there's nothing we can do here, and please don't buy it here. That's just not, eh. I mean, if bare minimums, you got it. This is a good example of dragging your reload zone higher. Like you can see now the reload zone is set up, somewhere down below $52. So nothing to do here, but I will just point out the beautiful setup that came in before. It's a hindsight thing, of course, and but truly the weekly W is actually right here. So like, this is kind of like what we're looking at a lot of these coins though. See, like that was that capitulation bottom. So like they kind of took out, I mean, in this case, they didn't take that low. So they just brought it all the way down against that low. And so right away, that's a pretty good location. But you can see OBV even sort of pointing higher through there, and even in, well, not quite divergence through there just yet in that low, but you can see OBV pointing higher and just coming down in a nice location there. So anybody that was just bottom feeding down against that got rewarded, but that's not the worst place to be doing that. Of course, it could have gone the other way and just crapped out to nothing, but the more conservative approach, in my opinion, would have been to just wait. You see that candle and you're like, okay, fine. And actually, look at how there's not a lot of seller volume here. We were talking about volume in our training program this week, and this is a pretty good example. We had capitulation dump here, but really not on like lots of volume. The volume was just nothing through that whole period, to be honest. But more importantly, you just would have waited for that close that week, and you could have started hunting divergences now that we've moved to a new low here. And sure enough, OBV was making higher lows and looking relatively promising, and actually confirmed on this breakout candle here. Talking about retests, so I mean, well, that's not really a weekly W because I kind of liked my other level there. So we got OBV divergence confirmation. Looks like it was kind of late. Well, it was that second week. So either way, you would have had the potential div coming in with confirmation right in here. But look at that retest. So it's kind of, this is sort of the thing, is like, this first was a fake, they first faked everybody out just ticking it through there, and then just was a big fake out and took it down. But if you would have just, and this is a weekly chart, so you can't say you didn't have, it closed here on like a Sunday, obviously. Strong candle body close. You could have just worked your bid Sunday night, and then you would have woken up Monday morning or whenever that came in. It could have came later in the week. I don't know yet. But, point being is during the next week, you see how they retest the breakout level. So that's why we don't chase. We just wait for that test. And you often find they give it. Not always, but it sure happens a lot. And so anyway, great example of buying a weekly W and what might happen on the other side. Holy shit. Nothing to do now.
Yeah, unfortunately, I missed that opportunity also.
Yeah, me too. I didn't.
I took enough profit from the market in the last month, but I missed that one. Really nice one. Look at that.
I mean, this has been running for months.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's everything.
Well, maybe we'll finally manage to keep the live stream 1 hour and a half.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm about to take an awesome mountain bike ride here in a minute. So I'm going to hop off anyway and go do that here in a little while. But yeah, so I mean, that's basically we got through all the requests. We went through a ton of names. I mean, the takeaway from all this is, yeah, there's a lot of nice looking charts that are breaking out. let's just still be patient and work our plans. Don't go chasing. But like, holy shit, we're getting closer to like maybe there's actually a bottom that's in that might hold uh, in general, you know. And I really like the idea of seeing. I mean, because it's almost good that it's like things are breaking out here. It's like the first week in November, and then maybe the strong ones will make these weekly W's, and then by the end of the year they'll retest those levels. So I like that kind of uh, general thinking as opposed to like uh, you know, like what's strong right now like would be like things in my weekly W list, and I like that HNT as an example because it's broken out too far to chase right now. So it's like you can't chase this here, like I've already said, but like so you find a chart like this where it's like the weekly W is in, and then maybe, you know, maybe this thing comes and takes a stab at the highs here in the next week or two. But I really like the idea of something like this where I think it's, you know, it looks strong to me and it looks like it's got a nice base here. Like, you know, when can we buy like this level again, like before the real bottom comes in? But because this one's strong, it has a chance of sort of like holding its level against the old weekly W's into the end of the year. Whereas something that's like weaker and making new lows will probably just keep drifting lower and lower into the end of the year. So I like the idea of hunting strong names like this and trying to buy the retests at the end of the year. So hopefully that makes sense. I don't know if I have a good example for one that's trending lower. I mean, like something like Atom is coming to mind. It's not really, it's trying to bounce here, but like just kind of putting this in context of like that HNT's got a nice solid base. This one has a really fake looking W. That's not a W, so that's kind of suggesting that it's not really bottom. But also just like it has like more downside risk, and it's just been trending down pretty strongly without a real bottom. Like OBV is sort of starting to turn now. So this is like one that I would just call a little. It's like weaker than. It's like it looks weaker than something else that's strongly bottomed, like any of these. Like I mean, I love that like Siacoin chart, stuff like this. You can see how, you know, it's much more based looking than Atom, for example. And I kind of want to buy the strong ones first, right? I want to like hunt the ones that already have weekly W's working when like tax loss selling happens. So hopefully that makes sense. I don't know. This ATA is another one that I bought. It's just sitting right at the breakout level. Kind of has a little bit of downside tail there that I don't love. So I don't know. Go take your shots on the ones that you like. Even ETC I saw putting in a nice W here, which is hilarious. So anyway, point being, crypto's looking pretty decent for investing opportunities at least. Looks a lot better than it has the last couple of years. So I guess we'll leave it at that, and I don't think I have anything else to say. I'll be back on Tuesday to talk about crypto again. So if you want to like join me and go through these weekly W's closer, that's what I'm going to be doing. Plus, I'm going to try to find some micro caps to add to the pot here. Like I had a couple, like this one was one I mentioned in my show 2 weeks ago that was like a micro cap kind of Hail Mary shot. Pretty good example of like the weekly W where I did get one fill, but I didn't get my two other bids that are just sort of sitting there stinky. But trying to look for stuff like that looks like that's also like under 30 million market cap or under or so, under 40 million, just smaller like sort of potential 100xers down the road. This one, I mean, you know, hopefully you can at least see like this is, you know, at 13 cents or sorry, 1.3 cents. You know, 10x's are pretty doable and lots higher potentially. So kind of hunting for stuff like that. Or like this Earn is another one that's got a nice W working now too. It's another of the micro caps. So I'm going to try to hunt out some of those for that Tuesday show. And then I guess also I'll just also on Tuesday, just remember the New York session is open to anybody that wants to just hop in and see how we actually kind of operate on a daily basis. Cause you know, our premium side of our group is mostly focused on trading setups, not so much on like this investment stuff. It's much more geared for actually day trading and swing trading and scalping So, and we hit crypto and also just like the traditional futures market. There's a little bit of gold trading and oil trading as well, and the stock indexes. So yeah, join us there if you want. And I think also during that, maybe Stefan will be live scalping for the London session on YouTube. I don't know for a fact, but he often does on Tuesdays as well. So check out any of that stuff. Pop in and say hi, and I guess I'll leave it at that and just have a good rest of your weekend. Like I said, I'm gonna go do a really nice ride up the river into the mountains, and I'll leave it at that. I'll just see you guys tomorrow if you're in our group, and if not, check us out and have fun. And I don't have a great way of saying bye. Bye bye. I'll see you guys later.
See you guys.